whenever you're ready.
All right. Hey everyone. So here we are in our window space and we are ready to start prepping for install. The first step to this is going to be mapping out our composition. Once you have a good idea in mind of where your bases and your ropes are going to be placed, start by placing your finished bases on the floor and sort of getting a general idea of what the composition in the window is going to be. We're also going to use a couple of helpful tools, our pink string and our masking tape, to give us a visual sketch of what this is going to look like, how much space it's going to take up, and give us all of that before we commit to tying our ropes. So let's go. Once you have a base placed on the floor and you feel good about the placement, use a piece of tape to approximately measure the same length as the base. And we're going to use this to mark our placement on the ceiling. So in order to get the cool cross effect of the ropes, that means our base needs to be at a different angle than our connection points at the ceiling. So a few ways you can achieve that with the track system on top is by placing your tape at an angle and using this piece of tape as a guide for your hooks when you place them in the ceiling. It's not exactly in a straight line, but you can more or less get the look by doing this. So we're going to place our hooks in the ceiling, following the tape as a guide. These two, although they run on the same track, we're going to think of this one as our outermost hook and this as the next one in, because this is really closer to the direction of this end of the tape. And so on and so forth. If it helps to color code your hooks with a piece of masking tape, you can do that. Or number them. Cool, there we are. So this is what it would look like if your ropes went from a small base on the bottom to a wide connection point at the top. So this would be for a base that has 6 ropes, but we are creating a widening effect by spacing out the hooks here at the top. So once you have a good placement for the base and for the connection points at the top, you can see what it's going to look like by using your pink string to mock up the scenario. I'm not using carabiners yet because this is just to get a sense of what it's going to look like in the space. So I'm going to have this run from the back of the base on the floor to the front of the base on the top. And that's going to create an X. So once we have the strings placed on both ends of the base and both ends of the connection points at the top, you can get a sense for what it's going to look like when it's filled in with the ropes. You don't have to go ahead and fill this in with all of your strings. It's just to help understand what it looks like in the space. Also, at this stage, you have a little bit of play with shifting composition around. If you want to see how angles change, our bases are not attached yet at this point, so you can kind of shift things around and see how you need to move your bases. Keep in mind that mannequins will be going in this window too, so leave some space for them. Okay. Once the placement looks good and you know you have the correct lengths of string, remove the pink string, and this is going to be used as a guide to cut your ropes so that you get the right length before installation. The length of your pink string plus 24 inches is going to be what the length of the rope is. That leaves you enough room for a little bit of margin and to have a tail at the end of your rope.